BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's make sure the sound's on. It is right. So I'll tell you what, I appreciate that these videos are boring when I start with Forex and indices and precious metals and all that. So I'll start with Bitcoin, and if you've got the stomach for it, you can have a look at the traditional markets as well. The only reason, as you all know, is that I look at those is because I feel it's important to try and work out the general mood of the market, as all markets more or less trend together at the moment. So it's all interconnected. I call it the domino effect. But for those of you who are pushed for time, let's just start with Bitcoin. So it's relatively simple at the moment. Bitcoin curling over a little bit, so it does have a bit of a bearish position as far as the price action is concerned. Almost a rounded top. We got a rejection all the way up at the top towards this 32,000, which is like a mega resistance, and we've come down to test the 200 exponential moving average on 4 hourly. This is a 4 hourly chart. So there was a few wicks down below it, but each candle body basically held above it. So you could class this as nothing more than a golden cross retest. So the golden crosses took place down here and they've been retested around here. The simple moving averages also seems to have some kind of relevance to it as well, but so does the 50 exponential. The 50 exponential is being used as resistance at the moment. So this area here, exactly this area here, which is downtrending as well ever so slightly with every 4 hourly candle body, about 30,200. Reclaiming and building a base above there, I would say is most likely going to have bullish continuation back up to our previous local high and maybe a little higher. Checking the money flow index, it's definitely got room to run. All these oscillators down here have definitely got more room to run. So with that, we'll just take a look at the daily to see what's going on here. So the daily has got a Bollinger Band center sitting around 30,400, so ever so slightly above that area on the 4 hourly, and breaking above there and holding above there, especially on a daily, is also going to have bullish continuation. But while being below that on the 4 hourly and on the daily, we should expect possibly rejection. We can see the 10 exponential offering rejection here as it did here as well. So let's just not get too excited at this very moment in time until we start to see closures a little higher, and especially if we get a daily closure above 30,004 to maybe 30,500. So that is basically Bitcoin for you. There's really not a great deal more to say about it than that. We can have a look at the 1 hourly just to well, I don't know, we'll just do it for a laugh really, shall we? So the 1 hourly got a pump signal a few hours ago. That is okay. You could probably make the case that that has already worked and moved us up to this 200 exponential where the rejection is. So recognize the 1 hourly, the 4 hourly and the daily have all got rejection around the same area, more or less that 30,200. And look, 200 simple moving average is 30,003. So yeah, all the time frames of any significance that I would ever bother to look at unless I was futures trading, sitting at a resistance right now. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to break. Doesn't mean that at all, but it just means that right this very moment in time we're sitting at a resistance on all those time frames. So I won't get too concerned, but if we do get rejected from here, I'll be looking for pullbacks, probably based around a daily, probably the 50 exponential to start with, which is 29,003. And then probably into sort of the mid 28,000s, and it would still be relatively bullish, even if we're just looking for a dead cat bounce from there. But it'd still be relatively bullish. Like, we're above the 200 simple and exponential quite a long way. Even the 50 exponential holds quite a lot of power when you're moving into it. So yeah, I'm not massively concerned in any kind of pullback. I would expect to see decent reactions, probably from between 29,003 and 28,005. So that is that. Let's have a look at Ethereum just briefly, so we can try and understand altcoins a little bit. So Ethereum on the daily's already done the 50 exponential, tried its best, move up to the 2000. This is a daily. The Bollinger Band is being sort of teased at the moment, isn't it? Being tickled here on this daily, which is better than Bitcoin. So it's worth recognizing that actually Ethereum's chart at this very moment in time, ever so slightly, is a little bit better than Bitcoin's. Also, the 4 hourly is quite neat and tidy. We've come down to test your 200 exponential, which would be classic golden cross retest. You'd be looking for a V-shaped recovery on something like this, to be honest with you, and we're so far above all moving averages without the short signal. Bitcoin on the 4 hourly did get a short signal, so we can get excited a little bit about what we see here on Ethereum. But obviously, thinking about the domino effect, if Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum's probably going to go down too. It'd be not unheard of, but it'd be very unlikely that Ethereum can go, ha, I will move while you go down. It has happened. There's some sort of things do happen, but very rarely, to be honest. But some stranger things, I suppose, have happened. So at this very moment in time, it looks like the consolidation from this big power move up might be coming to an end, and we might start to see moves back up into 2,000. It's only when we get above 2,000 I'll be able to call some form of continuation for all altcoins. However, you know me, quite happy to buy them on every incremental drop down. Right, so we'll get off this. Now we'll do the boring stuff. So you can tune out now if you're not interested in boring stuff. Who is? Right, so we'll start off with our favourite euro dollar. The euro dollar seeming to get support on the top of this box, about 112. Powerful, bullish stuff. It's definitely going from strength to strength, I would say. It's good, and what's good for euro is good for everyone else. We've got one driver of hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hourly. It looks like the consolidation could easily have finished by now. Let's turn on some of these bad boys. A little bit further down maybe, buys could exist for those who've got the stomach for it, recognising that euro is obviously quite high. I wouldn't fancy being a buyer up here, even though the chart looks quite good. Back down to 111, basically 111.4. So looks like euro wants to bounce still, even at this higher level. Where it can go from here is, you know, your guess really is as good as mine. All we're really concerned about, because we're not forex traders around here, all we're really concerned about is it going to go up, or is it going to stay high, or is it going to go down? If it looks like it actually wants to go down dramatically, then that would be probably time to limit exposure to all markets, but for the moment it doesn't really look like it wants to do that. So let's have a look at the S&P. S&P's broken through this next level of resistance. Unbelievable power here. Who told you the low on S&P? I told you the low. So you got to put these things out there. You know, my friends say to me, why don't you boast more about the stuff that you get right? And I said, I try to be modest, and every now and then I do say, I do remind people that I got something very significant, but then people on the comments destroy me for it. So I'm like, well, yes, you're a social media guy, you're supposed to sell yourself. I'm like, well, you know, it's more of a hobby than anything. It's not where the money comes from for the most part, to be fair. But yeah, I told you all. And again, it was only an educated guess. I mean, I did put some in down here, but the majority of my stocks I put in around here, so fair play. Fair play. Right, so where's the next point from here? Well, it's all the way up at here, 4,640, this previous high. And do we go to a new all-time high on the S&P? I don't know. I really don't know. To be honest with you, the bearish divergence has broken out, so it doesn't exist anymore. Let's have a look at the weekly. Weekly's getting relatively toppy, I would say, but still has further to run. No bearish divergence on the weekly, so we're not looking for, if any pullbacks happen, they'll be by the dips. To be honest with you, they would be by the dips. S&P, you absolute beauty. So now let's take it to gold. Gold, let's break it out nicely above all moving averages on this weekly, looking for a good weekly closure. Obviously we're going to be looking for the same thing on all these other time frames. So yeah, we're getting a clear breakout now for gold. Gold wants to trend up. I would imagine we'll continue to trend until we get to and above 2,000. 4 hourly is really good as well, so nothing really to be concerned of. Fresh golden cross over here, so any pullbacks would be by the dips on gold as well. The only thing that would cancel out all of this is the change in the euro, which is why I do these boring forex things, because that would change the direction basically of everything. So that's why we look at that, and the euro looks like it wants to at least hold this rough area between 111 and 112. If you start to break down from there, then maybe let's think about exiting some markets and just sitting on the sidelines just to see if there is a giant consolidation due in these markets, because it definitely could. There will be one day. You know, darker days are always going to come for markets, but at the moment, you know, it's still bright sunshine, it would appear, and I would imagine everybody should benefit from this at least for the rest of this week. But we'll see. We'll see. No guarantees on that one. So I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day and take it easy.